So this is every Dungeons and Dragons monster manual canon hardback that's ever been published. Dungeons and Dragons 1E, Dungeons and Dragons 2E, Dungeons and Dragons 3E, Dungeons and Dragons 4E, Dungeons and Dragons 5E, and Dungeons and Dragons VE, right? Not a new edition, an extension of 5E, which has never been done before on any tabletop role playing game, and will set the new standard of quality of having an edition that lasts 20 years, right? Which is pretty astounding. So what I want to do now is I want to. These books are a map of my life. So this was printed in 1977. At this point, I was living in Savannah, Georgia, and I was a child. I was mocked because my sneakers were cheap and my ears were big, and it was a rough time. But there were moments of joy. This was published in so Dungeons and Dragons 2E. The first monster manual came out in 1989 for Dungeons and Dragons 2E. At this point, I was a graduate of high school, and I was in my sophomore year at Millersville University, and at that point, I was studying political science, right? And then we come to the Monster Manual for Dungeons and Dragons 3E came out in 2000. At this point, I'm a husband and a father, and I've earned my bachelor's degree, okay, in political science. Now, in 2008, right, I now have a master's degree at this point. And then in 2014, at this point, I've authored two books, and I start to look at YouTube. And I think to myself, oh, that's an interesting platform. Maybe I could use that. In 2025, when I received the Monster Manual VE, at this point, um, I have actually, I have served as an elder in my church, and I have been a D&D, and at this point I have become a recognizable D&D commentator. And I've talked with more industry insiders than I can count, had back and forths with them, have over 2 million views and 3,000 followers, subscribers on my channel. And I know more about Dungeons and Dragons than any secular topic I've ever studied. This is a map of my life.